8 signs of a manipulative personality backed by psychology. Have you ever walked away from a conversation feeling confused, upset, or questioning if you're going crazy? Maybe someone in your life always makes you feel like you're the problem, even when you know deep down something isn't right. If this sounds familiar, you might be dealing with a manipulative person. These people are like emotional magicians. They twist situations, play with your feelings, and somehow make you believe their version of reality. But here's the good news. Once you learn their tricks, you can protect yourself. Today, we're breaking down 8 clear warning signs that psychologists have identified. These aren't just theories. These are real patterns that millions of people experience every day. By the end of this video, you'll have the tools to spot manipulation before it damages your mental health and relationships. Have you ever felt like someone was messing with your head? Like no matter what you do, you always end up feeling guilty, confused, or like you're walking on thin ice around them. If you're nodding your head right now, this video might just save your sanity. I'm about to reveal 8 red flags that scream manipulative person, and trust me, once you see these patterns, you can't unsee them. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into something that touches almost everyone's life at some point: dealing with manipulative people. Whether it's a romantic partner, a family member, a friend, or even a coworker, these people have a special talent for making us feel small, confused, and emotionally drained. But psychology has given us a roadmap to recognize these behaviors. So grab a notebook, because these 8 signs are going to open your eyes. Number 1. The guilt trip masters. Let's start with the most common one, the guilt trip. Oh my goodness, manipulative people are absolute experts at this. Picture this: you want to spend time with your friends, but suddenly they say something like, "I guess I'll just sit here alone while you go have fun," or "After everything I've done for you, this is how you repay me." Sound familiar? Here's what's happening in your brain. When someone guilt trips you, it triggers your natural desire to help and care for others. It's actually a beautiful part of being human, but manipulative people exploit this. They know exactly which buttons to push to make you feel bad about perfectly normal things. The difference between a guilt trip and honest communication is huge. A healthy person might say, "I feel sad when we don't spend time together. Can we plan something?" But a manipulator says, "You obviously don't care about me anymore," and then acts like they're the victim. See the difference? One opens up conversation, the other shuts it down and makes you feel terrible. Number 2, the reality twisters, gaslighting. Sign number 2 is something that has become really popular to talk about lately: gaslighting. But let me explain what this actually looks like in real life, because it's scarier than you might think. Imagine this scenario. You remember having a conversation where someone promised to help you move. But when moving day comes, they say, "I never said that. You must be remembering wrong." Or maybe they were rude to a waiter, and when you bring it up later, they say, "That never happened. You're being way too sensitive. You always blow things out of proportion." This is gaslighting, when someone makes you question your own memory and reality. It's named after an old movie where a husband dims the gas lights and then tells his wife she's imagining things when she notices. Psychologists have studied this, and it's absolutely devastating to your mental health. The scary part: it happens slowly. First, you start doubting small things, then bigger things. Before you know it, you're asking yourself, "Am I crazy? Did that really happen?" If you find yourself constantly second-guessing your own experiences and memories around someone, that's a massive red flag waving right in front of you. Number 3, the hot and cold treatment, love bombing. The third sign is what psychologists call love bombing, but I like to call it the hot and cold treatment. This one is particularly sneaky because it feels amazing at first. Here's how it works. In the beginning, they shower you with attention. I'm talking about constant texting, expensive gifts, telling you you're the most amazing person they've ever met, wanting to spend every moment with you. It feels like a fairy tale, right? You think, "Wow, this person really gets me. This is what real love feels like." But then, out of nowhere, it stops. The texts become short. They're suddenly busy all the time. They seem distant and cold. You're left wondering, what did I do wrong? How do I get back to how things were? So you start trying harder, being more available, maybe even accepting treatment you wouldn't normally accept. This is exactly what they want. Psychologists have found that this pattern, giving intense attention and then taking it away, creates something similar to an addiction in your brain. You become hooked on those high moments and you'll do almost anything to get them back. It's like emotional slot machine. You keep pulling the lever hoping for that big win, but mostly you just lose. Number 4, the professional victim. Their ex was crazy. Their boss was unfair. Their family doesn't understand them. Their friends betrayed them. Everyone is always doing something to them, but they never seem to do anything to anyone else. Does this sound like anyone you know? Here's a real-life example. Let's say they showed up 2 hours late to your birthday dinner. Instead of apologizing, they tell a long story about terrible traffic, a work emergency, and how stressed they are. Somehow, by the end of the conversation, you end up feeling bad for being upset about them being late to your birthday. This is manipulation because it prevents them from ever having to take responsibility or change their behavior. They've trained everyone around them to make excuses for them. Psychology tells us that emotionally healthy people can say, "I messed up, I'm sorry," when they hurt someone. But manipulative people will twist themselves into pretzels before they'll admit they were wrong. Number 5, the isolation experts. The 5th warning sign is isolation, and this one is really serious. Manipulative people slowly but surely try to separate you from your support system, your friends, family, anyone who might give you a reality check. It starts innocently. Maybe they say things like, "Your friend Sarah seems kind of negative," or "Your family doesn't really understand our relationship." They might not want to hang out when your friends are around, or they create drama every time you make plans with other people. Over time, it becomes easier to just avoid those conflicts. You start seeing your friends less. You call your family less often. Before you know it, this person has become your whole world and you don't have anyone else to talk to about what's happening. This is incredibly dangerous because isolation makes you more vulnerable to all the other manipulation tactics. When you don't have outside perspectives, you start to believe that their version of reality is the only one. You lose your support network right when you need it most. Healthy relationships encourage you to maintain your friendships and family connections. If someone is threatened by the other important people in your life, that's not love, that's control. Number 6, the conditional love dealers. Sign number 6 is conditional love, and this one breaks my heart because everyone deserves to be loved for who they are, not for what they do. With manipulative people, their love and affection always come with strings attached. When you do what they want, you get the good version of them. They're loving, attentive, maybe even sweet. But the moment you have your own opinion, set a boundary, or do something they don't like, the love disappears. You might get the silent treatment. They become cold and distant. They might even say things like, "I don't like you when you act like this," or "This isn't the person I fell in love with." The message is clear: if you want their love, you better stay in line. This creates so much anxiety because you're constantly monitoring your behavior, trying to keep them happy. You start losing yourself because you're so focused on being the person they want you to be. You might even start thinking, "If I just try harder, if I'm more understanding, then they'll love me the way they used to." But here's the truth: real love isn't something you have to earn every single day. In healthy relationships, people love you even when they're frustrated with you. They don't withdraw their affection as punishment. Number 7, the blame shifter's projection. Sign number 7 is called projection, but I call it the "I know you are, but what am I" game. This is when manipulative people accuse you of doing exactly what they're doing. If they're being dishonest, they'll constantly accuse you of lying. If they're cheating, they'll be suspicious and jealous, always questioning where you've been and who you were with. If they're being controlling, they'll say you're the controlling one. Here's a real example. Let's say they've been going through your phone and demanding to know where you are every minute of the day. When you finally say this is controlling behavior, they respond with, "You're the one who's controlling. You won't even let me care about you." This is so confusing because suddenly you're defending yourself against accusations that don't even make sense. You end up arguing about whether or not you're the problem, instead of addressing their actual behavior. Psychologists say this happens because deep down, many manipulative people know what they're doing is wrong. Instead of dealing with that uncomfortable truth, they project it onto you. It's like they're holding up a mirror and saying, no, you're the one with the problem. Number 8. The secret weapon holders. The final sign is perhaps the most hurtful. They use your vulnerabilities against you. When you open up to someone you trust, you're giving them a piece of your heart. You're sharing your fears, insecurities, past traumas, or things you're sensitive about. Manipulative people collect this information like weapons in an arsenal. Then during arguments or when they want to hurt you, they pull out these secrets and use them against you. Maybe you told them you're insecure about your weight, and later during a fight they say something like, "No wonder you feel bad about yourself. Look at how you take care of your body." Or perhaps you shared a painful childhood memory and they throw it back at you when they want to win an argument. This is devastating because it makes you feel like you can never be safe being vulnerable with them. You start keeping parts of yourself hidden, which isn't how relationships are supposed to work. In healthy relationships, when someone shares something personal with you, that information is sacred. You protect it, you don't weaponize it. If someone uses your deepest fears and insecurities against you, they're showing you exactly who they are. Believe them. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week where we're talking about how to set boundaries with difficult people without feeling guilty about it. Until then, take care of yourself.